dream about poplars. Sausch looked around and saw the place where 70 rivers flew together. Their rapid babbling flow, merging into a united chorus, ran further along the valley among 70 large mountain fortresses. There was a huge eternal poplar with 100 trunks in this valley. Lit up by the rays of the moon and the sun, shining like gold, it stood in solitude, living life known only to it. From its branches, bending to the moon side, silver leaves were falling with a soft rustle. From its branches, bending to the sun side, golden leaves were falling. The earth beneath this poplar was covered with the postcard beautiful silver and golden carpet. The whole space around was filled with an ethereal light, peace, harmony, and joy. Birds were chirping in the sky. Cheerful laughter and babbling of birds could be heard everywhere. The poplar was so large that 100 mares could stand under one branch. 40 sheep could easily hide under another branch. 2 identical golden cuckoos of a horse's head size sat echoing on top of that eternal 7-layered poplar. Sausch looked at them more attentively and immediately realized that those unusual birds knew everything. He understood that the golden cuckoos were sitting there for some reason. It turned out that they foretold future to any traveler who appeared there.
Dear cuckoos, can you tell me, please, what is in store for me in the future?
One of them turned its head to him, looked at him attentively, and then said,
"Your fate will not be easy, but esteemed, difficult but honorable. You are destined to be the great shaman, young man."
The other also turned its head to him and echoed the first one.
"You have a great patron. Obey him in everything and serve only him. Then you'll be fine."
Thank you, dear darling sweet cuckoos.
Sausch gave them a bow to the ground.
"Don't thank us. Thank your destiny and God Tengri."
And you serve him?
"Yes, and since he is the god of the future, we know all about the future."
Will I have a long life, dear?
"Yes, you will. But you should think not about it.
And what about?
Think on how to live your life decently, with a lot of kind and good deeds. Think how to give people a lot of useful and necessary knowledge. And to give your power to a decent successor at the end of your life. That's what you should think about. Don't worry about the rest. It isn't worth it."
Thank you, dear. You've made me happy.
Sausch gave them a bow again. Meanwhile, the cuckoos turned away from him and began to look into the future again. He understood he shouldn't bother them any longer. After all, he asked everything he wanted. He cast down his eyes, took a closer look, and saw gentle, delicate, subtle poplar wool falling from it. And under each fluff there were small embryos of children and animals. As if future children, animals, birds, and all life on Earth were parachuting to Earth. And at the same moment, Sausch understood that God Tengri sent embryos of people's souls, cattle, and everything alive on the earth in that way. Sausch cast down his eyes lower and saw those fluffs with embryos going to getting animals and a woman in labor.
So this is how it happens,
thought Sausch in surprise.
The difference between living beings and inanimate things is that the living beings have souls, and Tengri gives souls to all living beings on Earth. Isn't it a miracle? Isn't it a mystery?
He looked afar and saw copulating animals a little distance from the poplar, saw a husband and a wife embracing each other, and at the same moment the earth seemed to open in front of him, and he saw the iron poplar without branches. In an instant, everything disappeared. The sun and the moon went out. Sausch fell plunging into some dark, silent, oppressive space. There was a very heavy state there. which seemed not to let anyone go. He looked at that strange tree, and suddenly he clearly understood that Erlich's poplar was in front of him. It stood on the yellow island in the middle of the Yellow River. There was a hellhole with 7 hungry, insatiable mouths in the middle of the yellow island. That awesome iron poplar without branches had grown from that hellhole with 7 mouths. It gleamed darkly in the middle of the muddy yellow river, carrying its turbulent waters past him. Anguish, despair, and hopelessness emanated from that place, and he wanted to run away from there as quickly as possible. Sausch wanted to take his eyes off the poplar, but his eyes looked down, and he saw that the lower end of the poplar was in the lowest world, and the upper one went through the upper third world. There was a white Erdine, the treasure, the source of life, which could raise the dead and heal the passed away. Sausch wanted to get a better look at everything he saw, but some unseen power picked him up and carried into higher realms. He frantically stared at the Erdine, but after a few moments the vision was gone, and he opened his eyes. He was in a cave again.
Where am I? What is going on? Where is the Erdine?
You saw the poplars, my friend. Time came for you to see them. When you become stronger and feel good in the spirit world, you will be able not to lose yourself in Erlich's world. Learn how to behave. And you will use this Erdine. You will be able to cure people from different diseases, protect them from death, and return them from that world.
Really? Just like Christ.
And why are you surprised? Christ was also one of us. Don't you remember?
Well, yes. He raised Lazarus from the dead and used to command the spirits. Wow.
But don't rush the time. Don't be in a hurry. You should become stronger.